Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss, Pauly Howard with you live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino on a football Friday. Good to have you on board today. Thanks for watching on YouTube TV, listening on SiriusXM channel 158 or any of our great affiliates across the country. Loaded program coming up as always. Among the guests, Chuck Edel on the show coming up in 30 minutes. He is tied for second in the Friday Football Invitational here at Circa. And on VSiN, Mike Somich on the program. You know that he's going to have probably 8-10 bets when he joins the program. And such a great weekend in college football. A double shot today with Stanford Steve. We'll get into Major League Baseball as well. Win some, lose some, and run down the entire schedule in week number 4 of the National Football League, Pauly. And I'm looking right now at DraftKings. The Seahawks, after last night's win, they are plus 340 to win the NFC West. Going to have some stiff competition. But you got to like what you've seen so far from this team.
Right? Interesting. I don't think it'll go well against the Rams. I really like the defense. I'm concerned about some of the play calling, and they really go conservative in the fourth quarter when they get in the red zone.
Boy, you had to be pulling your hair out last night if you were on Seattle in certain ways.
I think Arizona in play, you had to do it at that point. They couldn't put them away. It was a ridiculous holding call on JSN in any event, right? You wipe off the touchdown.
Although the rules guy on Amazon Prime liked the call.
He's already by him.
I could not believe he said that on the broadcast.
I know. He's already by him.
Oh, my God.
It had nothing to do with the play. JSN was furious. I don't blame him. And then again, this is like everyone's cup of tea. Let's just settle for 50-yard field goals now. It's no problem, and let's not try to advance the ball.
Astonishing.
I know. So he misses one. They get the gift with the kickoff and taken over at the 40. But, I mean, if you were able to grab 7-8 to 1 higher than that on Arizona in play, you could just see it coming, how the comeback was going to happen. So,
well, I got mauled because I had some bets that I got mauled on, one of which was the team total under on Arizona in the game. They weren't moving the football.
No.
They had no chance until it was late. And then, like you said, Seattle got super conservative, and then they took the foot off the gas. But a couple of things here. I would have told the kicker before he goes out there, when he ties it at 20 apiece, if somehow they get the ball at the 40-yard line, I'm going to cut your ass. What was that?
Oh, Ryland, yeah.
I mean, come on, pal. Yeah. After he makes a 57-yarder, by the way, good from 70 probably.
Hit the net.
Right?
Yeah.
Crazy town that we're living in now with this stuff.
Yeah.
But also, like if you're the Cardinals, and I thought this in real time, when they cut it to 20-12, do you go for 2?
Yep.
To make it a 6-point game if they get it? And that way you're going to know if you need the extra point, or go for 2 if they don't get it the next time they score, if they score again. And they never went for 2 the second touchdown. And I saw this on Twitter, and I totally get it. Gannon always talks about like being aggressive, guys that are going out there and being dogs, right? Like that's the kind of player that he wants. Why did he not coach like that in the game? I would have gone for 2, definitely the first touchdown. And then if you make it 20-14, you don't the second time. But it's like a 50-50 proposition. He didn't do it either time.
Well, I think you have to go for the win there with under 30 seconds, and how that played out. So that was shenanigans there. I feel good for Harrison too. I mean, he went from. I was talking to our buddy Ozzy at halftime. Our conversation was, this guy's unplayable. He's running
trading, like they got to trade the guy.
He's running the wrong routes. Another big drop. They were driving, led to the interception.
Sure. And
then he had the touchdown and was great down the stretch. But there was, I mean, that's just, you got to put them away, and they couldn't do it. Now, as far as what happens coming up, these games could go either way. You know, Tampa, Jacksonville, Houston, Washington, Rams, Arizona again. It's a tough schedule for Seattle. They have a good defense, but my big concern is, can you trust Darnold? Will this continue, or will the mistakes happen at some point? That's where I'm at with Seattle. But
I don't think I like their running backs quite a bit. The 1-2 combo there.
They got the running game going, yeah.
But the offensive line scares me.
Yeah.
So I think like some weeks the combo of Walker and Charbonnet will look great. Other weeks it's not going to really pop that much.
How about the JSN landing spot?
Well, was 74? Wasn't it something like that?
79.
Oh, 79?
Yeah. Opened 70, closed 83, didn't it?
Yeah, close higher than that.
Higher than that, right. in the landing spot, and 99% of the money on the over at MGM.
All right, so let's look at the other games this week then involving teams in that division. We have the Jags playing at the 49ers in this spot, and so the Niners are 3-0. They defeated that Seahawks team in week 1. They won at the Saints, and somehow they beat Arizona last week. They welcome in Jacksonville. They're 2-1 on the year, beat Carolina. I don't think there's anything really to brag about with that. They could have defeated Cincinnati on the road, and they did defeat Houston last week. Could have lost that one. So I think their 2-1 record is probably what they should be. Niners are -3 in the game. Jacksonville is 5-41 straight up and 13-33 ATS against teams with a better record since 2011. Their defense has been for real. They are number 4 overall in DVOA. But they are the worst team defending tight ends in the league, and they allow the second most receiving yards for running back in the NFL. Hello, CMC.
Mm-hmm. Very good. It's like that stat is made up. Incredible. And we'll see what the injury report says. And the walking wounded here with San Francisco. Tough game. But imagine if you can get this one again and move to 4-0 when you're doing it with a backup quarterback as well. But I think a highly of Shanahan. But Evan Abrams had this. They're on a 3-17 ATS run second half. Like, what's going on at halftime? Yeah, isn't this guy like an offensive genius and the adjustments and everything? It's the exact opposite of what's happened here. So you can get involved with Jacksonville a second half as well. But the Niners are the better team. I am not a Jacksonville fan. I know I'm with you. Not a Lawrence fan. But this is a tough game. Just because it's like, what's going to happen with the turnover battle and also what's going to happen with the injury situation. You look here as we, right before we came on, it's like half the league is questionable this week.
I know. So also things you want to keep an eye on here offensively for Jacksonville. They were until last week, like with a bullet, the number 1 rushing team in the NFL, getting 170 yards on the ground. They were contained by Houston, but overall with DVOA, they are 6th on offense running the football. When you flip it and look at the Niners on defense, now we'll see what it's going to look like with no Nick Bosa.
Yep.
But against the run anyway, defensively, San Francisco 7th. They are the 8th best team against the pass and overall. And again, I get the competition, but 6th best with the defense in this spot. And again, with all these injuries here for San Francisco, that tells a story with the point spread, right? Like every point spread tells a story. And if they're not banged up, I said this earlier in the week, I think this number would be closer to a touchdown than 3 where it is right now. That's how many got, and then
yes.
does Purdy actually go in the game?
Yes. I think all signs point to an under here.
That's a pretty high number overall.
I know.
Yeah.
Still, even with the Bosa loss, I like this Niner defense. They played well.
Yep, same here. And then you were very opinionated on this game earlier in the week as well, the Colts and the Rams.
Yeah. I think the Rams are going to be pissed off. Number 1, they're going to fix their red zone issues. Number 2, they have to be just infuriated with what happened, blowing that lead, and everyone's talking about it and what happened with the bad beat, but you're up 19 in the third quarter. You got to finish. You got to be better in short yardage. You got to stop throwing bombs on 3rd and 1. Mm-hmm. You also have to have Adams out there, who's questionable. But also, I think it's going to come to an end finally here with teddy bears and ice cream with Indiana Jones. First team since 1940 to play their first 3 games with only 1 punt. The rushing attack's been great. The offense is number 2 in the league. They're +5 in turnovers. Do with this what you want. They haven't won in L.A. since 1986. I just think the Rams are one of the best teams in the league, and they know they let one slip away, and I'm sure it was a tough week of practice, and I just think the Rams are much the best here. While I think the Colts are respectable, you have to point to the competition and what's happened.
Yep.
Miami and also beating Tennessee. Now, they've been impressive. They moved the ball against Denver. But they had no business winning that game, even though they were impressive offensively there. So I just think you're taking on a nasty defense with a lot of weapons, and I think the Rams can move it at will on the Colts here, and they will get the win and get the cover.
The Rams are 25-15 ATS off a straight-up loss since 2019. That's a lot of, obviously, Sean McVay the entire time, and also a lot of Matthew Stafford in there, the coach-quarterback combo. And let me give you this. This is free to everybody. So I would highly recommend that you check it out this weekend. We're going to hit out a lot of these throughout the show today. When you go to vsin.com and you click on sports NFL, you can go to the Opta AI projections for player props, because player props are really, these are so popular that it's like the thing to bet on. And they're getting more popular by the day in all these sports. I'll give you some that you can find right now. Opta AI projects Trevor Lawrence for 252 plus passing yards in this game. His prop at DK, 226.5. That is a plus 26 yard margin to work with there. And I'm just going to concentrate right now on these games that we've talked about in this first segment of the show. Danny Dimes, they are projecting him for more than 256 passing yards in this game. His prop is 216.5.
Cool.
That flies over by 39.5 yards. Jonathan Taylor, they project him. You know what? I wrote down my notes wrong. So, they project him for 70 yards on the ground. His prop is 85.16 with Jonathan Taylor. Some other guys here. CMC for the Niners. He projects to go over 71.5 yards on the ground by almost 5 yards. And this is a big one here in that Rams-Colts game. Opta AI, again, vsin.com, they are projecting Devontae Adams for almost 90 yards. His prop is around 65.5, 66.5, 67.5. So their projections have him flying over by 22, 23 yards this weekend. Very good.
Yes, excellent.
We're checking to see how those go.
All right, check out everything. Mitch is right. The prop analyzer is fantastic. The Mackin and betting systems, every play, every host, every guest. Nigel on soccer. The Meat Man's on fire with soccer. Chuck Edel plays. He's coming up. 40% off our football season special. Follow the money promo code FTM. The best bet leaderboard, the betting splits, the proven systems, the replays, the watch app. Lock it in. 40% off today through the Super Bowl. Code FTM.
MLB numbers next. The final weekend of the regular season. And I hope that you were able to grab a series price for the weekend that we discussed on yesterday's program.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
All right, Pauly, we have loads of drama still this weekend in Major League Baseball, the final weekend of the regular season. What are you most excited about? Is there a game that you have either tonight, tomorrow, Sunday? Is there a series that you can't wait to bet on or watch?
There's a lot here. Number one, the Rockies can finish with the worst ERA of all time with the rotation with what they have. They got an ERA of 6.64.
Well, what did they have? Did they have to throw 3 shutouts to not break the all-time record?
Right. They go to San Francisco. The Giants are 56-18 against them since 2021. It's the Boston-Detroit series, even though Boston's magic number's 1. But it's what's going to happen with Detroit now. Big win yesterday. Now plus 550 to miss the playoffs. Huge that they have the tiebreaker over the Astros. It appears the first time since 2016 the Astros are going to miss the playoffs, and it has to be eyes on the National League. And how the Brewers treat this series against the Reds. Why are the Brewers favored? Their magic number's 1 for the 1 seed, and the Marlins are ready to go. They moved Sandy back. Sandy's beat the Mets already this year a couple times. The Mets have to face Sandy, Perez, and Cabrera, and they're playing horrible baseball. And they do not have the tiebreaker over the Reds. I can't believe the Reds are 3-1 to make the playoffs. I'm stunned by that number.
What do you think it should be?
It should be a lot lower. Because how long does Priester go tonight? And then who knows what the Brewers are going to do Saturday and Sunday. And you had the injury with Woodruff. So if I know I'm going to get a Mets loss, I think the Reds take 2 out of 3, and that's going to be good enough to do it, that they have the tiebreaker and sneak in the playoffs.
Well, here's the schedule as of right now. And a little bit of money, the way it looks at some shops on the Brewers, and Priester opened up a little bit higher than $1.60. I was looking at a higher than $1.75 earlier today. But on Saturday, your matchups in that series, and again, keep in mind, the Brewers are minus 220 to win the series. Win the series.
Yeah, I don't get it.
It's TBD going for the Brewers on both days. They'll get Abbott tomorrow and Singer on Sunday.
Yeah.
So they're lucky because they're going to avoid Lodolo and Hunter Green. They just pitched against the Pirates. But I think there's an angle here where Abbott and Singer can maybe shut down that team, especially, by the way, you said their magic number is 1 for the overall 1 seed.
Yeah.
If they win today, what are the Brewers going to look like on Saturday and Sunday?
Yeah. Or the Phillies could lose. Yeah, absolutely. How about you?
Okay, so
there's a lot of stuff going on, too, and I know there's a future ticket to be decided among just with most wins.
I wish every book in Nevada and beyond would offer this, or I wish we had DraftKings here in Nevada, which we don't. because we talked about this on the air yesterday, and we asked the question over and over and over again on a series price. This was before the Guardians even lost last night to the Tigers. How on earth were they minus 110 to win the series against Texas? Now so here's the deal. Take a guess, Pauly. The race for the most wins in September coming down to the wire yet again. The Guardians lead the Mariners by 1 game. I have the Mariners at 14-1 on a nice ticket. I had to lay 210 here today for the Guardians as a part of a hedge to win the series. So, and there's an angle here where I could still get a dead heat. Like they could win the series 2-1, and the Mariners could, in theory, sweep the Dodgers, and I can win both bets.
Yeah. And Cleveland, rightfully so, taking money today as well. They were opened $1.50 in this game when we talked about it yesterday.
Yeah.
Leiter's got terrible numbers career against them. They need the game like blood. And they also, Texas has lost 10 of 11. I mean, come on.
They have been waiting to go fishing,
Absolutely,
as they would say on Inside the NBA now for like a week and a half, that team.
Yeah.
They appear to be a dead team walking. And then it's going to be Kelly against Allen on Saturday, and then Corbin versus Cantillo. Those are the scheduled guys. Things can change, obviously. That's on Sunday. And you tie that in to what you said originally. The Red Sox are $1.25 to win the series against Detroit. And it's Mize versus Harrison today. Saturday, I did not see anybody listed for the Tigers at this point. Early, the rookie phenom for the Red Sox is going to go. And then Sunday, Skubal is currently listed. And again, if the Red Sox somehow need that game, you know what they're going to do? They're going to trot Crochet out there on short rest.
Yeah, well, they won't need that.
Well,
because their magic number's 1.
And here's the thing, too. If the Tigers don't need that game, there's no chance Skubal pitches on Sunday, right? Like, if they're in, they're going to save him for game 1 of the playoffs.
We could have a 4-way tie, by the way. Houston sweeps. Detroit takes 2 out of 3. Cleveland takes 2 out of 3. All 4 teams are 88 and 74. Houston's out.
Is that right?
That's in play.
Every
that
other
could still
team.
happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now they were $1.35 at DK yesterday to win the series. I noticed, I think $1.65 today. The
Mets price is too high based on, the must-win factor. They just lost 2 out of 3 at home to the Nats playing bad ball. You know, you're in a tough spot here with the Mariners because they already clinched the bye.
Right.
What will they do? How long will guys play? I know the same thing will be said about the Dodgers. The Dodgers are 19-3 against them last 22.
Is that right?
That's that's going to be a weird series as well. But there's so much stuff here where, Cleveland now plus 850 to miss, Detroit plus 550. Houston is 3-1 to get in, along with the Reds. The Mets to make it are minus 330 at DraftKings.
I know.
They're up a game and lose the tiebreaker.
Well, and Alcantara goes today for Miami as well.
Yeah.
Keep this in mind. It hasn't been a great year for Sandy, unfortunately, but his home ERA, which is where he is pitching tonight, is 2.5 runs better than on the road. And against the Mets this year, he's 2-0 over 2 starts, 12 innings pitched, a 2.25 ERA. And then again, like the Mets are going to get the best guys that Miami can trot out there, as you mentioned.
Yep. Mm-hmm. How about Toronto and the Yankees? People got futures on Toronto. I mean, the fact that you have to sweat is ridiculous, but that was a big win yesterday to beat Boston. Yankees come through again. Yankees got a tough series here, and Rogers has been lights out for Baltimore. And I like Baltimore tonight, but Toronto and the Yankees tied. Bieber goes tonight. Toronto has the tiebreaker, and the fact that still, I mean, the 1 seed, everything's on the line here. You see the Blue Jays price to win the series? I mean, this is going to be 215, 210? Yeah, in the neighborhood. Yeah. I don't think Tampa will roll over. Probably Toronto's not playing well. No, I don't think so either. The bats have been weak. And so they're $1.80 now in this game here at Circa. Okay, so what do you think about the Padres series price against the Diamondbacks? Another one. This is the other one that stuck out to me. It doesn't make any sense. San Diego, $1.85. Higher than that in some spots. Darvish tonight against Gallen, but they have nothing to play for. Cubs are up 6-1 in the bottom of the 7th, and they already said they're going to sit their key guys. Now, the comeback could be Arizona loses and that's it, and they're eliminated, but right. They get the late game. So, but the fact, what if the Mets come out and blow that? You know that when they take the field. I know. You got to take the plus money on Arizona. Right, and here's the deal. Gallen goes tonight. They pushed him back. He's going to go against Darvish. So in 2 starts against the Friars this year, 2.92 with the ERA and 11 Ks per 9. On the flip side, Darvish,
against the Snakes, 2 starts, 5.87 ERA, a 1.44 whip. It has not gone well for you, and it has gone well for Gallen. But I think you need to monitor this, obviously, like you said. And I would even say, what if the Mets fall behind early?
Yep.
Now, crazy things could happen. All these bullpens are all terrible for the most part. They could come back and rally and win the game. But I think if you monitor what's happening tonight with the live scoreboard in Major League Baseball, there's going to be some serious betting possibilities here.
Yep. Absolutely. Props. O'Hearn's hitting 455 career against Gallen, and Carroll's hitting 470 against Darvish. And the other one, I have my eyes on the Milwaukee game. Priester can tie a record. If the Brewers win, that's 20 straight wins in Priester appearances. He's 12-0 since May 24th. With a win, he'll tie the record. Roger Clemens, 20 in a row with the 2001 Yankees. No one's talking about this. This is crazy how good he's been.
So that's where 20 straight starts where the team wins the game.
Yes.
And how many wins has he recorded in that time? Do you know that?
He's 12-0.
He's 12-0 overall.
May 24th, yeah. It was a couple appearances out of the bullpen, whatever, but that's under the radar. And what Yamamoto is doing is under the radar. To me, he's got to be your number one guy now.
Right.
How good he's been down the stretch.
And here's the deal, right? Roberts is now going to be set up. He can. They're not going to get the 1 or the 2 seed. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then he can absolutely the Dodgers don't need these games over the weekend. I would throw nobody. Why would you? And then you can go, if he wants to go Yamamoto, obviously, then he's going to be ready for game 1. I think that's probably the move, because would you go, what are the other options there?
Yeah, right. And also, and I guess technically Seattle can still get the 1, but they lose tiebreakers to both Toronto and the Yankees.
Yeah.
So what happens tonight in the early games and will probably determine what they do tonight.
Yeah.
And how long guys go.
That's another thing to keep an eye on, right?
But the Cleveland 17-3 run. Detroit lost 2-11 last 13. Texas has been awful. And we're looking at the biggest collapse here. In 1964, the team blew an 8.5 game lead. Got nothing on what Cleveland could do here.
This is going to double that one.
Yes.
Right? Let's follow the money here on VSiN on a Football Friday, the Sports Betting Network. We're live in Vegas, Circa Resort and Casino. Up next, professional sports bettor Chuck Edel is going to join the program. He is tied for second in the Friday Night Football Invitational. He's got 3 best bets to share, including a couple of totals where he thrives in college football. Find out who he likes next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Welcome back. Good to have you on board as we're live in Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. We'll get into Win Some, Lose Some coming up next in about 15 minutes. Right now, we head out to the Progressive Guest Line as professional sports bettor Chuck Edel joins the program now, currently in second place of the Friday Night Football Invitational that you hear following us every Friday during the week with Matt Humans. He is the reigning champ from last year. Chuck, good afternoon. Thanks for the time today. How you been?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Doing well. Let's begin with a total here that it might be on the move a little bit in college football. Vanderbilt and Utah State. The angle here is that you're going to tell us about is betting the under. What number is good to bet still, and why do you like it to go that way?
Yeah, right now it's pretty solid 58, and I think that's fine. I do like the under. I think under 58, it was a little higher earlier in the week, but it hasn't moved too much yet. And, a few things going on in this game, a lot of interesting things. First of all, the Vanderbilt offense, they average 62.5 plays a game. They've been running up the score a lot in some of their games. They've been playing very well. Defensively, they've been great. They're only giving up 12.8 points a game. They're 23rd in the country, giving up 288 yards per game. They're 19th in the country against the rush, 2.9 yards per carry. Defensively, they're playing extremely well. This Utah State team, they've really only played one team all season with a quality defense, and that was Texas A&M. They grinded out 250 yards against them. Most of those yards came after Texas A&M They had a 30-6 lead. So, Utah State against this Vandy defense, I think will struggle. But there's a couple key things there. Utah State, their coach, Rocco Mendenhall, he plays, as we know, he plays slow. And Vandy has run the score up on all these, you look at their scores, they've been running up the score on weaker opponents, which Utah State possibly could qualify for that. But I don't think they're going to run up the score. First of all, they have Alabama and LSU on deck, two very big games for them. It's going to be, this Vanderbilt team is probably the best Vandy team we've seen in a while. That's two huge games for them. But way more importantly here, Clark Lee, who's the coach of Vanderbilt, he has said and he's talked about how Rockin' Mendenhall, the coach for Utah State, has been a mentor to him and a close friend. They talk regularly. He's got a lot of advice from Mendenhall about rebuilding his program. My strong opinion here is that he's not going to run up the score on Mendenhall. So I anticipate them winning the game. Obviously, he's not going to run up the score. Even the Utah State defensive coordinator, he used to work for Clark Lee. A lot of things going here, and I don't think they run up the score. I do like it to go under.
Very good. How about another under, my friend? Cincinnati and Kansas. The 57.5, the total right now at DraftKings. Take it away.
Yeah, I've heard some people talk about the over. I'm going to bump heads here and go under. First of all, these are two of the slower playing teams in college football. Cincinnati, as of now, and this should, I think it will change a little bit, but they're averaging 52.3 points a game. That's 132nd out of 136 teams. Kansas offense averages 63 plays a game. That's 124th in the country. So you get a couple teams playing slow. The Cincinnati defense has been good. They're only giving up 4.1 yards per play, 2.6 against the run. And the Kansas defense has been playing well, only giving up 16.5 points a game. On offense, Cincinnati has a great offensive line. Their game plan and what they want to do here in this game is run the ball, shorten the game. That's their game plan. They have a great offensive line. They haven't even allowed a sack yet this year. On the other hand, Kansas, they've really only faced one quality, opponent here. Early on in the season, they played Missouri and they had big trouble with them. If you look at the score, it was a high-scoring game, but there was 4 turnovers in the game. Kansas only had 233 yards passing, 31 yards running the ball against them. So the Kansas running backs are banged up. This is to me, it looks like a low-scoring game. Both teams like to take their time. Like I said, they don't run a lot of plays, and I like this one to go under as well.
Very good. The Iceman, Chuck Edel, our guest. Follow the money. Pauly and Mitch VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Chuck is on the Progressive guest line. A side here now in the NFL. It's incredible what's going on in Houston. They're the only team to start 0-3, yet allow fewer than 55 points on the season. They've allowed only 51. And in the last 30 years, this is only the 4th time a team's been 0-3 and laying this number. What do you think of Texans-Titans, sir?
Yeah, I think that'll change this week. You look at 2 0-3 teams, that person might look, the team's +7. They're both 0-3. I'll grab the +7. But I like Houston here -7. They're like you mentioned just now, Pauly, there's a difference between the teams and the games that have been played with Houston. Even though they have lost 3 games, they were close against the Rams. They lost by 5. They lost by 1 to Tampa. Last week, a touchdown at Jacksonville. Tennessee has basically been blown out in all 3 games. I'll give them the opening game against Denver. They hung in there for a while. 2 of the games, their home games, they got blown out on. And Cam Ward has really struggled. It's not really all, you can't put it all in him. The offensive line for Tennessee has been horrible. They're still banged up. They don't have a running game. Tony Pollard averaging 3.6 yards per carry. And as you mentioned, this Houston defense giving up 17 points a game. Meanwhile, Tennessee, they're giving up over 31 points a game. Now their secondary is banged up. They just traded the cornerback Jarvis Brown-Lee over to the Jets. They're having all sorts of problems. Now the head coach Callahan is giving up the play calling. I mean, there's a lot of animosity going on, a lot of finger pointing. Houston should get healthy here versus this Tennessee defense. I see them scoring some points here, and I think 7 points is going to be cheap in this game when it's all said and done.
All right, very good. So coming up later on tonight during the Friday Night Football Invitational, your plays will be given out. Everybody gets 7 plays overall. You can use college and NFL bets, sides or totals. And again, you're the reigning champ here, and you're in second place right now. You love to, for those who don't know, you love to bet totals in college football. you've used, I think, well, they put in the Chuck Edel rule, right, where you can only use 4 totals per week. But it appears as if, tell me if I'm wrong on this, Chuck, but you are 3-0 with your best bets so far, and every one of those has been a total in college football?
Yeah, that's good. That's correct. Yeah, I got those first 3 best bets, which is good because at the end of the year, they use the best bets for a tiebreaker. And the first year we had the contest, I tied Chris Felico, who does a great job. Me and him were tied for first, but because of the tiebreaker being the best bets, I did not win that contest. So it's good to build up. And then you also get an extra half point. So you get a point for each win, but you get 1.5 for a best bet. So that's worked out well.
It looks like 2 of the 3 so far have been on a total. The other one was Arizona State laying the points against Texas State, which got there. So a little teaser again for tonight. How many college totals are going to be on your board overall? And then will the best bet, in fact, be a college total?
The best bet will be a college total. I haven't completely finished my list yet, but I would say a big favorite to have 4 totals on the list. But for sure, 3 I know I'll be using. And the best bet, which is one of the games we just talked about, will be on the best bet.
Very, very good.
Yes.
Love talking to you every single Friday and getting your perspective, Chuck. Good luck tonight and this weekend. We appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
There you go. 13-8 so far in the year, and again 3-0 on his best bets. And he was ridiculous last year. I think he said when he hosted the Friday Invitational or was on for like the first hour with Matt Humans a couple weeks ago, I think he said it was like the best stretch he's ever had. But I mean, he was like 35 games over 500 or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Craziness.
Yes. How about the Houston thing? Do you believe that? No, but going back the last 30 years, when you're laying that number and you're 0-3, the previous 3 teams didn't cover. But to be 0-3 and you've allowed 51 points on the season, you got to be, number one, can't have chaos in the locker room. Can you imagine the finger pointing? What's going on?
Sure.
Like we're doing our job every week.
So
you guys are bringing us down.
How much of, when are you going to use Houston again?
Yep.
Outweigh the thought of this team being 0-3, horrific so far in offense, and if you're not okay going to bed at night, putting your head on the pillow if they lose to Tennessee.
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think the Chargers is risky because also you don't know what Dart's going to do, and also there's plenty of opportunities with the Chargers. They play an easy schedule. And there's a lot of winnable games coming up. Plus, you're taking a team on the road, and who knows, Dart could be Superman. But the other ones, obviously Lions are obvious, Bills. But how many, like Derek Stevens said with us Tuesday, how many people will save the Bills? Because they are laying 11 next week at home to New England, and that's a tough week next week.
Right. There are some, by the way, I looked at every week up until Thanksgiving, last night and this morning several times. There are some kind of difficult weeks coming up beyond week 5.
Yeah.
So file that one away too, where you're not going to have, as of right now anyway, a ton of teams where they're laying like 7 points in this spot. And I've come around to the notion of the idea of going to bed on Sunday night with the Texans loss, being okay with that. Because Tennessee is god-awful, Pauly.
Yeah. 3-17 ATS run.
And you know what?
And the cover shouldn't have been a cover against Denver.
And I think we're in unison here. I think they probably have the worst coach in football.
Mm-hmm.
Guy's been an epic disaster so far down there.
Yeah.
Win some, lose some coming up next. Got a great email about an angle on a WNBA game that we have coming up later on tonight. Pauly will recap all the big bets that came in last night, next here on VSiN.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
A.J. Barner first touchdown, 18-19-1. Depends where you shop. It was as high as 30-1 at ESPN Bet. Both teams to score in the first quarter, plus 160. Harrison Jr. anytime touchdown, plus 180. Seattle's won 8 in a row over Arizona, and both quarterbacks go over their longest rush prop again in a primetime game.
Wasn't looking too hot there for Murray, but then he exploded late, and that's all that matters.
I feel good about that bet every single game. Like, if I lose, so be it. Because I'm with you that you just figure that at some point he's going to take off and run and get that.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
By the way, I mean, you see what I'm saying? Like, their offense stinks.
Yes.
I cannot. This team hurts my eyeballs.
Bizarre play calling, too. Mariners 230 up to 320. For much of the day, they didn't know who they were throwing. As I said, it didn't matter. It turned out to be Hancock. He was good. And they take out Colorado again, no problem.
Oh, by the way, did you see this? The first at bat for Cal Raleigh?
Yeah.
He flew out, or flied out. They say it weird in baseball. He flied out to right center. That was a home run at Yankee Stadium. And it would have been a home run at 5 different parks.
Yeah.
I wonder how many fly balls up there in Seattle that he hit this year that were not home runs would have been home runs at Yankee Stadium.
Okay. Most runs, Astros 20-1. Highest scoring game, Astros A's 15-1. Subscribe, be part of the team, vsin.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos at Pauly Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in, we'll put you on. These are in several casinos now. They have one here at Circa with the Lucky Box. This is at Excalibur now. Trading card machines where a lot of the stuff is listed, and it's just, you put the money in, and it's a surprise what comes out. But the guy here who got the Emmitt Smith autographed jersey, and someone got a Steph Curry autographed jersey, someone else got a Pokemon card that works here for like $1,700. These are popping up all over the place in Las Vegas.
Evidently, it's like a win-win for everybody involved, so it'd be nice to be on the ground floor of this, right? Be involved a little bit. These are probably going to take off like wildfire and be everywhere.
Well, yeah. I don't know enough about it in terms of, like, if I put $250 in, is that am I getting something, like, even if I get something that's not way up there, am I getting at least $250 back with a card or something? Yeah.
The
all right. I hope so.
Value is supposed to be whatever you're willing to pay. Minimum.
All right. Here's a dog with some bad sleep. This guy with his neck has got to be killing him. He fell asleep in the cage with his face on the cage.
He's standing up.
Yeah, he's sleeping upright. How did he do that?
And the face is buried in. Yeah, you're right.
It's like he's using it as a pillow. Oh, it's got to be pain. How can he do that?
Look at the tongue.
Like the guys who sleeping on their back. And
I've seen it plenty.
With the legs up there, he is. Hey, buddy. That a bully too. Awesome. I can't remember if I've showed this one before or not. This one's good. The guy in the rain. The dog's in the rain, and he's dressed up, and he's got the windshield wipers on him. I showed that one before, and this different. Oh, so this is the husky.
Not a fan of the rain. This guy.
No, doesn't like it at all.
Let me guess. The howling there is.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
Very loud.
Very good. Bad for the books. Plenty of it. JSN receiving yards. 70.5. What's the highest you saw?
85.5, I believe.
Okay, fell 79 and one catch at halftime. Then the long pass down the sidelines and the other catch on the final drive finished with 79. That is some landing spot. On a prop with that movement? But everyone was betting it. And 99% of the bets on the over at BetMGM. Seahawks plus 2.5 to minus 1.5. And a bad beat would be JSN under if you had that. With only one catch in the first half. Before the line moves, sharp plays already there. They don't just follow the market, they help move it. You're not going to outsmart billion-dollar books of full-time sharps on your own. With the sharp plays, you don't have to. Powered by advanced AI and plugged into trusted insider sources, Sharp Plays delivers the edge serious bettors use every day. Free reports, alerts, and market-moving insights straight to your inbox or X-feed. They've been at it since 2011. Jeff and the crew do a great job. Mr. Poison updates are back. Public logs, transparent receipts, documented results, sharpplays.com. Trusted by pros, watched by the books. Visit sharpplays.com and stay ahead of the line.
To lift the trophy at the Ryder Cup, when we started win-lose, Europe was minus 190. They're now minus 225 to lift the trophy. So they have had an outstanding day. And I don't know, Luke, if you can verify this, but it looks like Rahm and Sepp Straka just won their match, I believe is what we're looking at right now. Or either that or else they're three up with 15 to play. I can't exactly tell, but it looks like a good thing here for the Europeans. Okay.
That's what it says here.
Okay, now they're 250. So there you go. So it's looking very good for the Europeans today. And the combo of Cam Young and Justin Thomas, they took Obear and Højgaard out to the woodshed. and I think they won their match in 13 holes. But the other 3 that are ongoing, so Europe currently leads the U.S. 3-2, but they are 1 up, and 3 up in their matches, and they're playing, it looks like, on 12, 14, and 15 right now. Great day for them, not a great day for us. Let me give you this. Email is always open, ftm@vsin.com. This is from Dougie Fresh. There's all tickets paid the same.
Yeah.
So he found an angle here with Nafisa Collier for the Minnesota Lynx playing again tonight in the WNBA. Her points prop, but in the first quarter, Pauly. A lot of books might not have this. I did find it out here in Las Vegas. You can find it at FanDuel. First quarter points over 6.5 in the plus 115 range, maybe a little bit higher. She had 9 in the last game. She had 10 in the game before that, the 2 playoff games here against Phoenix. 7 shots in the first quarter in each game, 9 and 10 minutes respectively, and 3 3-point attempts in each game against the Mercury so far as well. So she is coming out, guns a-blazing. If she takes 3 threes and 7 shots overall, you kind of got to like your chance. And she hasn't even gone to the free throw line. So you kind of got to like your chances at plus 114 to go over 6.5 again in this game tonight. Plus, huge spot, obviously, for both these teams.
Minnesota's $1.40 to win it. The whole thing. Both teams, road teams, laying 4 tonight. Aces punished the Fever in the last game. $4 series price now, adjusted. Lynx minus 360 after they gacked away one of the biggest collapses in playoff history. Up 20 in the second half, lost at home to Phoenix.
We talked about this in the first segment of the show. Would you qualify the Rams as your best bet this week in the NFL? Well, we're talking side or total now, because we'll dive into player props coming up a little bit more that we like. And I have 3 or 4 so far that I've made bets on.
Yeah, that or the Packers. I think it could get ugly in Dallas.
Yeah, the numbers are indicating that this should be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
It should be.
Just this all-time great defense, in my opinion. They're going to do what they want offensively. Parsons will be fired up. They're giving up 14 points per game. They haven't allowed a touchdown before the fourth quarter all year. Parsons has only played 64% of snaps. It's just number 1 in pressures, all of it. And plus how they just gave away that game and were pathetic against Cleveland.
Can I give you a first quarter bet that you might like?
Yes.
How about the Bears almost even money? I think this Raiders defense...
Yeah, Ben can script it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Raiders defense, come on. Let's stop fooling around here. It's not good. Like, we thought this team could be a player. I raised my hand before the year. Like, I think they're... And so far, I mean, it has not gone that way. Week 1 was good for them, but since then, not exactly pretty. And... I mean, the total here, 47.5, doesn't have the same number as that Jacksonville 49ers game?
Yeah.
Think about that for a second. How are those two equal? But Ben Johnson has been awesome so far at getting his team and that offense going in the first quarter. And you can get the Bears on the money line right now. Again, it's like minus 105 in that neighborhood. That crowd out here in Las Vegas, that has been, you can actually get plus 1.5 points. You got to lay some juice with Chicago. This was the most expensive ticket anywhere in the NFL, I think, year to date. Chicago at Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Because you have to consider how many Chicagoans have moved out here, but also like how many people from Chicago want to come out here and make this their trip this season to watch the team play. Hey, I get to go to Vegas for 4 days?
Yep. How about under 44 in the Giants game? September and October games at home. Giants 16-1 underrun. 22-2 since 2019.
Wow.
Oh, I know it's been an ATM just blindly betting it. But I know Evan Abrams, great numbers there.
I'm not going to fight you on that. I'll also give you this. The Chargers on normal rest, 14-3 under their last 17 games in that stretch. And the Giants since 2020, 57-29 to the under, 66%. And did you mention this in that?
Every game? Every Giants game, not just home?
That's every Giants game.
Wow.
Under the total as a home dog since 2020.
That's a good one. Okay.
25-6.
Oh, God. Doesn't quit, doesn't stop.
No, it's one right after another that you keep hearing.
Oh, that's good. That's fantastic.
But that's kind of like what is Jackson Dart going to look like?
Mm-hmm. I can tell you this. I think the Patriots first half is a good bet as well. Vrabel was ticked off, the 5 turnovers, and there was a late night practice during the week as well.
Mike Somich on the program next. Sides, totals, his best player props, probably a ladder as well. Get his best bets with us next year on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.